Hey everybody, it's Molly with All Ears, and I am here at Walt Disney World today with a brand new video. Today's topic, the worst day in Walt Disney World. Can you even have a bad day in Walt Disney World? Apparently, you can. I am headed to all the things that All Ears readers have voted the lowest scoring attractions and restaurants in the Walt Disney World theme parks. I'm gonna check them out for myself and see if I agree, if they really are the worst things you can do here, or maybe they're just getting a bad rap. Regardless, we're gonna have fun. It's gonna be exciting. We're gonna learn some new things together. I hope you're excited. I sure am. Let's get in the park. So if you're not familiar, on allears.net we have this awesome reviewer section where we encourage readers and viewers like yourself to review things at the Walt Disney World theme parks. It could be restaurants, it could be attractions, it could be experiences. That way other readers, when they're planning their trip, they can use those as a healthy guide to what experiences they might enjoy. So what I've done is I've gone through the allears.net review page, which we'll link for you, and I have made a list of the attractions and the quick service restaurants in the parks that have ranked the lowest according to you. And those are all the things I'm going to do today. I'm going to hit all 4 parks, and we are going to check out the worst things to do in Disney World. Surprisingly, to me at least, 3 of the 4 things that ranked really low at Magic Kingdom are all in Adventureland. So I am headed there first. We're going to get some food. We're going to do 2 attractions, one of which I'm not surprised by ranked low, but one I was pretty surprised. The first attraction I'm going to do at Magic Kingdom is the one that made me really shocked and very sad, and that's Walt Disney's Enchanted Tiki Room. It only scored a 5.88 out of 10 on our reviews, and it made me super sad. This is where animatronics started, friends. The first attraction to have audio animatronics in a Disney attraction, the one they were invented for, was this one. This was before Haunted Mansion, before Pirates of the Caribbean, before It's a Small World, before Hall of Presidents, before obviously current things like Smuggler's Run and Na'vi River Journey. We've got those amazing animatronics. This is what started it all. So the comments that I sifted through that were not fans of the Tiki Room said it was kind of boring and outdated and the jokes were annoying, which hurts my heart, but we're gonna go check it out and I'm gonna give you my review of the Tiki Room. Just finished up the Enchanted Tiki Room. When I saw it on the list, my first thought was, how dare you? There's so much historical significance to this attraction, so much hard work went into the attraction, and like I said, we wouldn't have such beloved attractions as the Haunted Mansion without the Enchanted Tiki Room. Walt paid so much attention to this. It was actually going to be a restaurant first where you ate underneath the birds, but then they were like, well, then people won't pay attention to the show. They weren't sure how to time it right, plus like birds above where you're eating. Get it? Anyway, then they started building these little mechanical birds, and Walt came in, he was looking at them, he was watching the thing. A really cool story about the Tiki Room is once they figured out how to make the animatronics, they showed Walt, they were all excited, all the Imagineers, Harriet Burns, one of my favorite, she was doing all the detail work on him, they show Walt the whole show, and he's like, quick question though, why aren't they breathing? And they're like, but Walt's like, no, they're living, breathing birds. They should be breathing. Their chests should be moving in and out. So then they had to deconstruct all the birds and add in a chest plate, but they couldn't figure out what material to use because they were using feathers for the rest of the birds. Then in a meeting, Harriet Burns, again my favorite, one of my favorite Imagineers, First Lady Imagineer, she noticed that Walt was wearing a cashmere sweater, and she noticed around his elbow how fluidly it moved. So she came up with the idea to make cashmere patches to put on the front of the birds, and then that way when they breathed in and out, you'd be able to see that they were breathing and that they've really come to life. So hopefully if you didn't appreciate the Tiki Room before with a little historical tidbit, you will. I will say it's not the most exciting attraction. It's not a thrill ride. It's not the Haunted Mansion, which is like an iconic must do, but I think you got to do it at least once, if for no other reason than the historical significance of the Tiki Room. And you may be thinking, why don't they update it? Why don't they add new characters? They actually tried that for a while. They added in Iago and Zazu to kind of make it more contemporary, and people didn't like it. So at one point, those animatronics stopped working, so they just took them out altogether, and they made it back to the original because people love the classics. So to me, this one is unfairly ranked. If it's unfairly ranked to you, I encourage you to go to allears.net and add a review of the Tiki Room so that we can get it up to where it belongs. Now I have another attraction in Adventureland. This one I kind of understand a little more about why it's ranked the way it's ranked. My second and last attraction in Magic Kingdom is the Magic Carpets of Aladdin, which is essentially Dumbo. So it's that carousel type attraction where you go up and down, but it's carpets like in the movie Aladdin as opposed to elephants. It got a 4.33 out of 10, which is not great, and people said that it was boring and not worth the wait time. So I'm gonna ride it right now, granted with a fast pass, and I will see how I feel about the Magic Carpets of Aladdin. But I'm less shocked than I was about the Tiki Room going into this one. A good thing to know about the Magic Carpets of Aladdin is that if you're in the front row, you're controlling if it goes up and down, and if you're in the back row, you're controlling if it rocks forward and backwards. So if you sit in the back row and expect to be controlling it up and down, you're going to be disappointed. So keep that in mind when you're getting in your carpet. Whee! Gonna go a little lower. Whoa! And a little higher. I'm even gonna reach back. See if I can make us tilt. There we go. Ooh, oh! Hey, tilting. Oh, tilting down. Never done that. I don't really know if you had kids how you'd control who got to do which part. Maybe you'd have to ride it twice. Or if you've got a little kid who won't understand that they get to control going up and down, put them in the back and put the older one in the front. Or little old-fashioned rock, paper, scissors. Because obviously controlling up and down is cooler. Here's the thing about Magic Carpets of Aladdin. It is short. It's like 90 seconds long. I don't think it's a must-do. I don't think it's a bad attraction. It's clearly based off Dumbo, and now Dumbo has 2 Dumbos and that cool interactive waiting area, so oftentimes Dumbo has a shorter line than this. So if you have to choose between the two, obviously go with your classic of Dumbo. If you do want to ride it, you've got somebody that's obsessed with Aladdin, I recommend not waiting very long. It's like 40 minutes right now. I don't think it's worth a 40-minute wait. But if you can grab it as a secondary fast pass, or you've got somebody that's like really into Aladdin, then why not? Kids are gonna like it. Teenagers and such, probably not. So, is it the best ride here? No. It's a 4.33 fare? Kinda. But that said, it's not a bad attraction. Just not the best attraction. The first restaurant on our list today is also in Adventureland. It's Tortuga Tavern, which has a 5.67 out of 10. People are saying that it's crowded and small and that the food is just kind of meh. And I'm going to be honest with you guys, I haven't eaten here recently, except for that time I got an iconic turkey leg. So I'm going to check it out. I do know it doesn't have mobile order, which basically every other restaurant, quick service restaurant in Magic Kingdom does. So that is not as good as other places. But we're going to check out the menu, sample something, and see how we feel. Tortuga Tavern used to be called El Pirata y El Periodico, which I can't pronounce, but means the pirate and the parrot. And now it's called Tortuga Tavern. And let's take a look at the menu here. We do have that turkey leg, of course. Ropa vieja, which is beef served over rice. Jerk smoked brisket sandwich. There's also just a hot dog or a hot dog topped. Tostones. Alright, so not a huge selection, but we'll figure out what to get. Here is what I got. It's the Ropa Vieja, which is spiced beef, and it looks like there's some peppers in there over rice. And I grabbed some hot sauce in case I want to kick it up even more. I asked the cast member what the most popular items were, and she was like the plain hot dog and the turkey leg. So I didn't want to get either of those. I wanted to get something more signature and unique to this location, and this is what I got. Previously at this location, they did have a toppings bar. It wasn't as big as the one at Pecos, but they did have it. They don't anymore, so I'm a little bummed about that because I would have loved to put some fresh pico de gallo or sour cream on top of this. But still gonna dig in and see what we got. That beef is actually delightful. Very well seasoned. I'm not getting any kind of kick from it on its own, so. Now we're talking. I'm actually quite pleasantly surprised by how much I'm enjoying this. Finished up at Tortuga Tavern, and I gotta say, I think a 5.67 is a fair rating. I was pleasantly surprised by how well flavored that beef was. It had a little bit of kick, especially when I added the hot sauce, but I was disappointed there was no toppings bar because it would have been that much better with some fresh toppings, some fresh produce on there. I didn't have a problem finding a seat, and it's Christmas week, so there wasn't a seat inside, so if you're looking for indoor seating, that's much more limited, but I was able to grab a regular seat without any issue. It is smaller than most of the quick services here, though, so I could see with a big party how that would be a concern. Overall, it wasn't bad. I did think it was a little on the expensive side for the portion I got, when you could go right next door to Pecos Bill's and get a much bigger portion for not that much more, and you get that access to the toppings bar. So yeah, I think 5.67 is fair. It was delicious. There's room for improvement as far as the restaurant is concerned. But keep in mind, Tortuga Tavern is where you get your turkey leg for the most part in Magic Kingdom, and they also had that plain hot dog. So maybe if you're going to Pecos and you've got someone in your family that's a little pickier and doesn't want the southwestern flair, you could pretty easily grab a plain hot dog from there and then all eat in Pecos together. The last spot at Magic Kingdom we have to go to is one I frequent regularly, and it's the Main Street Bakery, aka Starbucks. It only got a 6.04 in the reviews, which upsets me because you guys know I love coffee, but there were some valid comments in the reviews. People said that they have long lines that move slowly, which can be true especially on crowded times of the day, especially during busy times of the year. So first thing in the morning, right before the fireworks, things like that, it is going to be a little more crowded. People say there's no seating, which that's true. This is not a spot to grab a coffee and sit and relax. There is some seating kind of nearby on Center Street, and there's some seating at the train station, or if you keep going towards the hub, there's that gorgeous hub grass you could sit on. But there's no seating directly in here, so that's valid. And people miss the old bakery, which I do too. Before it was run by Starbucks, they had the most amazing cinnamon rolls here, and they just don't taste the same ever since it's become Starbucks. But I'm going to use this as an excuse to get a cup of coffee and see if I feel like a 6.04 is a fair rating. One thing I do like about the location and the Starbucks locations in Disney in general is they really did a good job of theming them to when and where they're located. So this really does keep the same feel of the turn of the century, a Main Street, whereas the one at Hollywood Studios feels different, whereas the one at Animal Kingdom feels different. That said, this is what people mean about those long lines, but they tend to move pretty quickly. There are two sides, so choose a side, left or right. One thing they have at the bakery that's a fan favorite are these gigantic Mickey-shaped donuts. They're chocolate or vanilla. They're $8.99, but definitely shareable. Then they've got all the other bakery treats in there as well. Coffee acquired. How do I get out? Oh. So with that long line, again, it's Christmas time and it's about to be parade time, so this is a popular time to visit the Main Street Bakery. It took 15 minutes to go through the line and get my coffee. Here's a pro tip. If you ask for anything complicated, they're going to have to make it in the back and it's going to take longer. Basically, if you want plain tea or plain coffee, you can get it and the cast member serving you will go get it for you and hand it to you right when you pay, and it's much, much faster. So you can get a couple pumps of syrup or something in there. You can ask them to add in a creamer if you want a specialty creamer, or they've got the other creamers and shaky toppings on the little self-serve bar. So if you're pressed for time, just get plain hot coffee or hot tea, maybe add a flavor. I added pumpkin because still not going to let it go, and that'll be a little bit quicker. A 6 feels low, but mostly because I use coffee as a lifeblood. It's not really somewhere that I would recommend eating unless you want a sweet treat, but you know, the bakery has its pros and cons, but the big pro is coffee. The bakery was our last stop at Magic Kingdom, so I am headed out of the park into park number 2. I made it into park number 2, which is Epcot. First things first, Look at all this room for activities at the main entrance. If you're not familiar, previously it had those big monoliths, which were the things where the Leave a Legacy pillars. Those were the names of the Leave a Legacy pillars. And then they put construction walls up, and then they opened up the side to the right of the ball, which is over there. But now, just recently, they opened up the center part with all the beautiful landscaping and the left part. Epcot transformation's going along swimmingly. If you want to learn more about the Epcot transformation, I did a whole video about everything that's changing when it comes to Epcot, all the new attractions that are coming, what's closing, what we can look forward to. We'll link that for you. Headed to the singular attraction at Epcot on our list. Some of you are going to be very upset when I tell you this, but I gotta say, I kind of get it, and it's Journey into Imagination with Figment. Journey into Imagination with Figment kind of has a cult following because of the previous version that existed in the 80s for just a little while. And it was the version that had the Dreamfinder and Figment, and then they changed it to this other version that people didn't really care for that much. And now it's back to Journey into Imagination with Figment. It's kind of a combination of the two. But if you have no emotional attachment to the original that people were so crazy about, I don't think that this is a must-do, and I don't think people really get it. You should know that Journey into Imagination did score a 6 on the reviews, which really isn't bad. It's just the lowest scored thing at Epcot, which is why I'm doing it right now. It's got about a 15-minute line right now. I did grab a fast pass for it. Remember, it is the holiday season, so 15 minutes, really not bad for an attraction during the holidays. That's also about the longest wait time I would recommend for this attraction. I've never actually gone through the fast pass line on this attraction because it normally is a walk-on, but I just grabbed one because it's the only thing I'm doing at this park. I would not recommend using a fast pass on this attraction. Even today, like I said, it's one of the busiest times of year and it's only a 15-minute wait, so unless it's an absolute must-do and you want literally no wait, you're better off using your fast passes elsewhere in Epcot.
Imagination is a blast!
Well, I did Journey into Imagination. I don't want to say there's bad attractions, because I don't think there's any such thing as a bad Disney attraction. Especially now that Stitch's Great Escape is closed, am I right? But that's far from my favorite, and I actually think a 6 is generous on the scale. But as you can see, Figment has a huge fan base. Just look at all this Figment exclusive merchandise that you can get in the Journey to Imagination shop. I mean, there's plushes, there's ears, there's socks, t-shirts. You could literally go head to toe Figment if you wanted to. So clearly he's a fan favorite. He's just not my personal favorite. But like I said, there's no such thing as a bad attraction. Looks like it started raining out there, which is fitting with today's theme, but I'm about to go get something to eat at Epcot in what is ranked the worst quick service here at the park. This is my best look. Let's talk about rain though, because a lot of people would think rain would make for the worst day in Disney, but you can actually use it to your advantage. For starters, Epcot's probably the best park to be in because unless it's thundering and lightning, every attraction will stay open. The only attraction that does close if it thunders and lightnings is Test Track, which is pretty good considering other parks, there's more outdoor attractions, so more things will close. Because Epcot has so many indoor pavilions and restaurants and things, you can pretty much enjoy the full park even when it's raining, and there's plenty of spots to hide out and avoid a quick shower or just stay dry for a little bit. But yeah, just a little rain doesn't mean the end of your day. It actually means a lot of people are probably gonna leave and then there won't be as long lines. I am headed into the China Pavilion to eat at the Lotus Blossom Cafe, which is the quick service location in China. Reflections of China also was on my list, and it has only a 5.5 for a score, but Reflections of China is getting closed in the foreseeable future as part of the Epcot transformation, and a new Circle Vision film called Wondrous China will be replacing it, so I didn't feel the need to go on it for this particular adventure. But anyway, Lotus Blossom Cafe is the quick service location, and it was ranked low because people said there was no air conditioning, limited seating, and it's expensive Chinese takeout that you could get better of at home. Looking at the menu, it is pretty standard like Chinese takeout fare. You've got orange chicken, beef and noodles, fried rice, They've also got a couple cocktails, but what I have ordered are an appetizer. I got some veggie spring rolls. They also have pork spring rolls, or egg rolls, I guess, and pot stickers. They've got a pretty lovely spread of Chinese condiments, duck sauce, hot sauce, soy sauce, Chinese mustard. Here are my veggie spring rolls. And like I said, they also come as pork egg rolls, or they've got dumplings as an appetizer, and any of these things can be a snack credit, which is good to know. So far, I can agree with the limited seating thing, but like I pointed out, it is raining, so a lot of people are obviously just in here sitting to avoid the rain, so I'm actually standing kind of right outside the restaurant. And now, I'm excited to try my spring roll. There's the meal. I think that's delicious. I'm gonna add a little sauce to it to kick it up a notch. It's nothing spectacular. It's not the best spring roll you've ever had, but if you're in the mood for a crunchy egg roll or spring roll, definitely this will hit the spot. So while maybe you've got a better Chinese place at home that you can get the full meal at, I have found that sometimes nothing is better than a dumpling or a dumpling or an egg roll, and this is a great spot to get it. It's good to know they have the vegetarian kind in case you are a non-meat eater. It would be a good snack for you, and it's just a good snack to keep in mind when you're eating around the world or drinking around the world. Maybe a little carb action, you need a little greasy Chinese food. So it has a 5.93 score. I think that's probably pretty fair, although I do think this is better than Tortuga Tavern. It's just there's so much good food at Epcot. Somebody has to be ranked last, and unfortunately it's Lotus Blossom, but the cast members are so sweet here, and yeah, if you just want some pot stickers or an egg roll, this is gonna do the trick. I put both duck and hot sauce on it, and now it's a real treat. So I'm just saying, if you've been drinking around the world, this may be exactly what you're looking for when it comes to a snack. I am now rushing out of Epcot to make it to park number 3, because the first thing on my list, the last showing of it, is in less than an hour. So it'll be a race for the ages. Hello.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing just fine, thank you.
Oh no.
Let's try it just one more time. Maybe try to...
I know my hand's probably all wet.
Put your finger right here.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Let's try it again.
Okay, just one more time. Is this the right finger?
Yeah, I just got my nails done though, so sometimes it doesn't.
Okay, I'll get you some.
Hey, can I scan your band real quick?
Thank you. Made it into Animal Kingdom. Of course, my bio doesn't work on the thing because I just got my nails done. It never wants to work when you do the biometric measurement. But hey, we made it into the park. I got a little time to spare before the show, but is it gonna get canceled because of the rain? Also, I took my mic off because it's raining. I don't want to ruin my mic, so sorry if the audio sounds different than it did previously in the video. We'll try and make it so that's not a concern for you guys, but wanted to let you know. It came as a big surprise to me that in Animal Kingdom, I have the most things to do on this list of the worst things in Disney World. I was shocked. But unsurprisingly, none of them are food related. That's because quick service wise, Animal Kingdom rivals Epcot as the best options. And so I don't have anything to eat here, but I have 4 different attractions to do /see. Some may surprise you, some may not. I am headed to see Up a Great Bird Adventure, which scored the second lowest of anything, 3.3 out of 10, which is really low for a Disney show because those are known to be high caliber and high quality, but the Up Bird Show did get a 3.3, which is lower than Flight Surrender, which is the previous version, which is actually the main complaint amongst reviewers. They said that they like the old version better, that the new version isn't as fun. It's kind of annoying because they added the Up characters, and they don't have enough birds. This is a bird show. People want to see birds, but we're gonna go check it out. It may get canceled because of the rain, or they may do like an abridged version. I don't know yet. But we're gonna find out together on our own Great Bird Adventure. You may have noticed the pattern by now that I am using FastPass Plus, but I'm telling you not to use FastPass Plus on these attractions. That's because these are the only things I'm doing today. I'm not also trying to ride Expedition Everest and Kilimanjaro Safaris and Flight of Passage. I'm just doing these certain attractions that are relatively easy to get FastPass on, and as you can see, it's not super crowded, even though it's Christmas week, so typically you don't need to use a FastPass. I just am, because these are the only things I'm doing today, and why not use the FastPass to guarantee I get a seat? So if you watch my FastPass challenge videos, you will hear a little bit more about my guide and my advice when it comes to FastPass strategy. I've said it before, basically every time I've seen this show for a video, but I don't love birds, so this show does make me like them more because it teaches me about birds, but there's something about the little like beaks kind of stresses me out a little bit.
Hey, thanks, Adam. You're really great at getting things like mice and rats.
He'll just keep going on like that all day long. He just keeps talking and talking and talking. Yes.
Over there we have Molly. And what's your name? Gabriella. Yay, my favorite part is
The
there
Molly
at the
bird
end
is
when Molly
very
cheers her
talented.
on for singing such a great
Must be
song.
a name thing.
And is sure even Emma. I love you too, and that's Molly and Gabby.
Wrapped up with the Up Great Bird Adventure show. I do think it's cute. It definitely doesn't have as many birds as it used to, from what I can remember, but it's cute. The kids will like it because the Up characters are in it. Also, there was a bird named Molly, so I'm like default have to say I enjoyed it because that bird was very talented and she kept stealing the microphone from the other bird, so I felt a connection and a kinship to this feathered creature. So, is it the best show in Animal Kingdom? No, that's Festival of the Lion King. But it's entertaining. If it's a long day, you know, it's a good place to sit down and rest for a little bit. Kids will find it enjoyable because of the birds and the characters. So I think the low score of a 3.3 is a little harsh. I would probably put it more in a 5 range. So not a must do, a nice to do. Definitely don't need a fast pass. Look how pretty a rainbow over Everest. That's gorgeous. Aw, this park is so pretty. Every time I come here, I'm just amazed at how beautiful it is. I am now headed to Dinoland USA, where the next 2 attractions on my list will be found, including the lowest ranked attraction in all of Disney World. I place your bets now, because it may not be the one you think it is. If you thought Primeval World, the spinning roller coaster, was going to be the lowest on our list, you are incorrect, because it's actually its sister attraction, Triceratops Spin, Dumbo with Dinosaurs. That's the lowest rated attraction on our reviews. It only has a score of a 3 out of 10, which is really sad, because even Magic Carpets of Aladdin got higher than that. I'm going to check it out right now. I think we all know what the attraction's going to be like, but still, I'm going to ride it. The biggest complaints for that, it's a waste of time, which is very rude, and that the back joystick doesn't work. So I'm going to test it out. I waited 3 minutes to get on it, so it's not like I put in a lot of time to waste, and I'll let you know in about 90 seconds. It won't be 90 seconds to you, but 90 seconds to me, because that's how long the attraction is. You get it. Oh, here we go. Front joystick definitely working to take me higher. Oh, look at the dinosaur. That's cool. I think this is a great view up here, especially with the Christmas lights. And I'm rocking. And I'm rocking back. So my joystick's working. I don't think that was a waste of time at all, especially because it's the holidays right now and there's really cool lights all over Dinoland, and you can see them really well from high up, especially the big dinosaur, the fossil of the Brontosaurus that has big lights on it and they're changing colors. I actually like getting a bird's eye, or should I say Triceratops eye view of Dinoland USA. So is it a must-do attraction for most people? No, it's not a fast pass attraction. However, it rarely has a long queue. Little kids are gonna love it because they love this kind of attraction. And Yeah, it's not a thrill ride, it's not a must-do, but I enjoy it, and I think it at least needs to get the same score as Magic Carpets of Aladdin. I think a 3 is a little harsh. Now I am headed over to Primeval Whirl, which is the spinning roller coaster here in Dinoland USA, which got a 5.5 score, and a lot of folks don't like it because it spins. It's currently open seasonally, which means it's only open during the really busy time of years, and it does not have Fast Pass. It does have a 48-inch height requirement, which throws a lot of people off because Everest only has a 44, and this area does seem very like Carnival Kiddie, but the reason it has a higher height requirement is because of how the harness fits you. It has nothing to do with the attraction scariness. It has everything to do with the harness coming over you. So it does have a 48-inch height requirement, so keep that in mind. Sadly, while I was in the queue for Primeval Whirl, it got dumped. They had some technical difficulties. I'm gonna linger around for a few minutes to see if it comes back up. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to keep moving on to the last attraction at Animal Kingdom because I still got one more part to go to. Hopefully it comes back up. This is not boding well for my argument for Primeval Whirl. Look at Chip and Dale with umbrellas! Ah! They are so cute. I love them with my whole heart. Never gonna waste an opportunity to show you guys something I haven't shared before. So while I monitor the My Disney Experience app, one, because I'm trying to get a closer time for my Fast Pass for my next attraction I have to show you, and two, I'm monitoring it to see if Primeval Whirl comes back up, I'm gonna show you a new place that you might not realize is in Dinoland USA, a cute place where you can grab a cocktail and a little snacky. It's called the Restaurantosaurus Lounge. You're gonna dig this. And it's actually on the side of Restaurantosaurus, the quick service location. They have a little special side entrance that you can follow. It's kind of secret. And it's a fun little lounge. They have some seating in here, specially just for the lounge. So good little hidden gem. You need to take a little break in Dinoland. After speaking with the bartender, he suggests the Premadoral booze, which I know I'm saying wrong, but it's lemonade, blueberry vodka, blue curacao, and some juice, lemon juice and pomegranate. So he made it all cute like a Mickey, but he said this is the most popular cocktail on their menu. Ooh, I like the tartness from the lemon and the lemonade. Y'all know I don't like super sweet things, so the lemonade's helping balance out that. But good to know you can get one of the specialty cocktails here, or they've got your basics, they've got all different spirits, and they've got sodas and things to mix it with. So if you want to just get like a vodka tonic or Jack and Coke, you can do that as well. They've also got buffalo chicken dip, which is not on the Restaurantosaurus menu, so you can order that as well. Cute little hidden spot, right? You know, before you go on Dinosaur, get a little liquid courage, or while you're hiding from the rain, like I am. I know it's not on our list for today, but I couldn't resist a little buffalo chicken dip, made fresh daily. It's got those blue cheese crumbles on it. Bartender just told me it's cream cheese and sour cream based, and then it's chicken with hot sauce, and then they add celery and tomato on top and a little blue cheese, a little seasoning, homemade chips. I love buffalo chicken dip, so it was a good shareable. And again, a little bit of a hidden gem. I know it's not on the agenda for today, but sometimes life gets crazy. Finished up my delicious cocktail and snack over at the Restaurantosaurus Lounge, and I came outside and Primeval Whirl is operating and had a 5-minute wait. What a great day! And this is supposed to be the worst day. No. After all that, I still gotta say, I kinda love Primeval Whirl. It is definitely more intense than it looks. kind of akin to Slinky Dog in that way, where it definitely looks like it's a kiddie coaster, but it's got a little more oomph. There's a couple good drops that get your stomach going. The spinning's not too terrible. Obviously, if you get really motion sick spinning, I don't recommend it, but it's not as nauseating as the teacups, in my opinion, if you get those going really fast. So I do think like a 5.5 is probably close to fair, maybe a little bit higher. And I think it's fun. That said, there's no fast pass. I wouldn't wait more than 30-ish minutes for it. But it is fun, and it's really fun when it's been raining because it goes faster. Headed out of Dino Land to my last thing at Animal Kingdom, and I bet you're not going to guess what it is. I say that because it shocked me that it was on the list. And we're going to cross the park and show you where we're going next. Are you surprised I had to come to Pandora, Animal Kingdom's newest land, for the last attraction on our list? That's right, we're headed to Flight of Passage. Just kidding, I'm going to Na'vi River Journey. Na'vi River Journey currently ranks at a 5.46, which is lower than Primeval Whirl, which is pretty shocking. People said it's dull, they said it's uninspired, they said it's boring and not worth a fast pass, which again is harsh. But it is a slow-moving boat ride. It's not Flight of Passage, so we're going to check it out. We're going to see what we think, but I really did not expect to come to Pandora at all. It's got one of Disney's newest and most state-of-the-art animatronics on the attraction, so yeah, color me shocked. Just got off Na'vi River Journey. I do think it's pretty impressive. I think that animatronic is so incredible. I find myself waving to it sometimes, even though I'm very aware it's not a real person / Na'vi priestess lady. I do think you do not want to wait 95 minutes, which is the current wait time. I think that is way too long. That is the wait time I would go get in line for Flight of Passage at. I definitely don't think it's worth a 95-minute wait. I don't think you should use an initial fast pass on it. If you go to make your fast passes and the Tier 1 attractions are this and Flight of Passage, if Flight of Passage isn't available, in my opinion, you should pick 3 out of Tier 2. My suggestion would be Kilimanjaro Safaris, Expedition Everest, Festival of the Lion King. And then after that, you could maybe get it as a secondary fast pass, which I talk all about in my Animal Kingdom Fast Pass Challenge video. So yeah, I don't think it's a good initial fast pass choice. I don't think you should wait 95 minutes, but I don't think calling it uninspired or boring is good or fair, because I think it's beautiful and I see new things every time I ride it, which I've ridden it a bunch of times. So I like it. I don't think it deserves a low score. I think the problem is it's the attraction that opened with Flight of Passage, which is like groundbreaking, amazing, incredible, oh my goodness, blow your mind. So yeah, a slow-moving boat ride is not going to compare to Flight of Passage, but look at it through its own lens, enjoy it for what it is. I think it's nice that people that can't ride Flight of Passage still get a good attraction in Pandora. So yeah, maybe not worth an initial fast pass, maybe not worth 90-minute wait, but I still think it's a good attraction. As if to illustrate my point, as I was wrapping up filming that last clip about my review of Na'vi River Journey, a guy came up to me and said, I think it was very average. But I asked him if he was in Fast Pass or Standby, and he said he waited the whole hour and a half. So that just goes to show I don't think it's worth a 90-minute wait. I would say maybe 30, maybe 45 minutes on a busy day is probably the most I would wait in Standby. Otherwise, I would try and get it as a secondary Fast Pass, which it's not completely impossible. I know I'm just one person, but it's 2 days before Christmas, and I was able to get a secondary Fast Pass for that attraction today. So, yeah. Headed out of Animal Kingdom. I've got one park left on the agenda, Hollywood Studios. There's one attraction and one restaurant to hit before I have finished the worst day at Disney. But like, so far it's still been pretty great, which is not surprising. For my last land of the day, that's where the attraction and the food is. It's one of Disney's newest lands. It's one of Hollywood Studios' newest lands. Quick question before I get there. Am I going to Batuu or Andy's Backyard? Surprise! I'm headed to Toy Story Land. Is anybody shocked? I kind of am. But leave me a note in the comments if you thought I was going to go to Batuu instead. now that you know what land I'm in, you probably know what attraction I'm headed to. It's definitely not Slinky Dog Dash. That's right, I'm headed to the Alien Swirling Saucers, which actually isn't that low of a score, but it was the lowest attraction score at Hollywood Studios, so I felt it was important to include it. It has a 6.86 right now, which we're gonna go ride it, but that doesn't seem too unfair. Like I said, that's pretty high compared to some of the other attractions I've done today. Remember that Navi River Journey had less than a 5.5. Triceratops Spin only had a 3, and the Tiki Room had like a 5.68. So a 6.86, really not too shabby, but we're gonna check it out to make sure we agree. I do like this queue because you may know I'm obsessed with Buzz Lightyear and he's my favorite character. So I like that you've got the gun from Buzz Lightyear Astro Blasters, which is the Disneyland version of Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin. And I love that you've got Buzz's box up there.
De seguridad bien abrochados y las manos, brazos.
Alien Swirling Saucers is basically the exact same as Tow Mater's Junkyard Jamboree out at Disneyland at Disney California Adventure. So it spins you around on these discs and you're like you know what I'm saying? You're like on a disc and you hinge and then you slide and you smash into your friends. You know what I'm talking about. So I think a 6.86 is a very fair score for that. It doesn't look like much, but then it ends up being a blast and I end up giggling the whole time. I do think if you're going to give that a 6.86, you got to bump up things like Enchanted Tiki Room and Navi River Journey, which are technologically way more advanced than that. But just goes to show, just because something's technologically savvy doesn't mean it's the best attraction. It still may not be as entertaining to some folks as something as simple as Alien Swirling Saucers. But we've got to do our last thing, and that is eat here in Toy Story Land, which means I'm going to Woody's Lunchbox. Cooties! Woody's Lunchbox actually had the lowest quick service rating of any quick service restaurant in a park at a 4.2, which is really, really low. And some of the concerns in the reviews were that it was a limited menu. Some people said that it had really slow moving line, that was really long and it's hot, and that there's no indoor seating. So a couple things to point out. Yes, there is no indoor seating. So if you're here in the middle of the summer, maybe this isn't the best option in the middle of the day. Disney has added more umbrellas in this land, but it is still generally a hot land. So nothing I can help with there. As far as the long lines go, mobile order, it's your best friend. I just did it. It took less than a minute, and now my food will be ready any minute. Now, it's the end of the night. It's been a long day, so there's actually not a line at all right now. But still, during the day, always mobile order. It's one of the best things you can do any quick service restaurant that offers it in Walt Disney World. As far as the limited menu goes, it is a smaller menu, but it's pretty unique when it comes to different offerings. There's a couple different sandwiches. There's a brisket sandwich, there's a grilled cheese, there are tachos, which are loaded tater tots. There's a couple different vegan options you can get here. They have those great lunchbox tarts that I love, which are like custom Pop-Tart things that are, they've got seasonal different flavors, which is a fun dessert. They've got grown-up lemonade, so it is a small menu, but it's got some unique stuff that I've enjoyed what I've had before. But today, you know what? It's been a long day, it's rained today, and nothing tastes better when it's cold and rainy than grilled cheese and tomato soup, which is an option here at Woody's Lunchbox. So I'm really excited to dig into this and see if it's better than a 4.2. Here is my meal. It's a 3-cheese grilled cheese, looks yummy, and a little cup of tomato soup. And then as always, I got a free cup of water and I saw some hot sauce. So you guys know I like to kick things up a notch, which this looks pretty good. Excited to try it. First up, gonna try just the grilled cheese on its own. You know what? I think that's a darn good grilled cheese. In fact, this is easily my favorite thing I've eaten today. So I think this is better than the egg rolls I had. I think this is better than the Tortuga Tagron Ropa Vieja. It's a darn good, really cheesy grilled cheese. That's grilled cheese goals right there. So I know it's just a grilled cheese and you're on vacation, so you're probably like, I don't want to spend $9 on a grilled cheese. But it's a good grilled cheese. And I would actually suggest maybe sharing this as like buy one and then share it as a snack. It'd be a really good snack. I'm gonna dip it in the tomato soup now, which is how I like to do my grilled cheese situation. It's actually pretty good tomato soup. Very basil-y. So, while this is a simple meal, I think it's delicious. You guys know I love those tachos. I can see the complaints about there not being a lot of seating and that it being all outdoors. So just try and scope out a table, maybe eat at the off time. Don't eat right at noon. Try to eat a little bit early or a little bit in the middle of the afternoon so you're not eating right at the peak meal times. And then of course, always be courteous to your fellow guests. And when you guys are done eating, don't just hold a table for hours and hours. Just, you know, move along. But I do think Disney's added more tables since this opened, and they've definitely added some umbrellas. So I think a 4.2 is pretty darn low, especially compared to some of the other places I've been. I think this is fun. I love the tachos. I keep talking about them. Try them if you haven't. I'd love to hear what you think in the comments about Woody's Lunchbox. If you've had a meal here and you've had a better experience, and what your thoughts are. Well, that is a wrap on the worst day at Walt Disney World. I rode the lowest ranked attractions, I ate the lowest ranked food, it even rained, and you know what? I still had a wonderful day at Walt Disney World, which leads me to the moral of the story, friends. There's no such thing as a bad day at Disney World. Of course, we recommend some attractions and experiences and restaurants over others, but you know what? As long as you're with your friends and family and having fun at the most magical place on earth, you're gonna have a great day and you're gonna make great memories. The only thing that can ruin a day at Disney World is a bad attitude. Cue the after school special music. Was there anything on this list that surprised you? Was there anything not on this list that surprised you? Make sure to let us know in the comments, and make sure to go leave reviews of your own at allears.net. In the meantime, friends, make sure to rate, review, subscribe to our channel, follow us on Instagram at allearsnet, and until next time, y'all, I'm Molly, and it's been magical. Want to see more of my videos? Click over here. Want to subscribe? You can do that right here. And also, ring that notification bell to make sure you get instantly notified anytime we post a new video. Thanks for following. See you real soon.